What's up, guys? Yeah, I just had to do a video comment on this Adrien Broner, Eddie Hearn situation, man. Somebody's gonna have to tell me what is Al Heyman, uh, Steven Espinosa, and all these guys. What are they doing to these PBC fighters, man? What are they sliding in their drinks and their food, man? They got them drinking some terrible Kool-Aid, man. Adrien Broner, Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence. These guys step over dollars to collect dimes. I've been saying that about Errol Spence, and the same can be said about Deontay Wilder and Adrien Broner. You got Deontay Wilder, he's turning down, $4 or $5 million paydays, $12 million paydays with Eddie to take a measly $2 million to fight a dangerous ass Luis Ortiz, man. $2.1 million to fight a Luis Ortiz, man. He could make double fighting Dillian White, a fight that he'd be a bigger favorite in. You got Errol Spence turning down an initial $3.5 million offer plus HBO contract to fight Miguel Cotto for a title at 154. He turned it down to fight Lamont Peterson for $1.2 million. Do the math. 3.5 minus 1.2. Well, he left 2.3 on the table at least. Hell, I think he could have got double with negotiation. They put that fight on pay-per-view. He could have got double, man. With pay, I think he probably could have got a $5 million guarantee with pay-per-view points. He could have got $2 million off pay-per-view, $7 million payday, man. And as I said before, he could have filled in for Canelo when Canelo fell out of a Golovkin fight. That would have been another $7 million at least, in my opinion, against Golovkin on pay-per-view. This guy could have made $14 million. In the first half of this year? If he would have fought Baby Cotto in December, the first in the last 6 months, he could have made maybe $14 million, man, fighting Cotto and Triple G. Now we got Adrien Broner, man. This guy did not learn his lesson. We all know he turned down a 5-year, $40 million deal with Rock Nation. In hindsight, a terrible decision. He should have took that deal and ran, man. Should took that deal and ran, man. And he came out. He made some bad public statements about Jay-Z, which he later regretted and apologized for. And now I don't know what he's doing, but he has done the same thing with Eddie. Of course, we know Eddie got his $1 billion deal with DAZN, which I did not do a video congratulating Eddie, but congrats to Eddie, billionaire Ed, as we call him. He had a great potential deal with Eddie, man, and I'm assuming this was just Eddie's initial offer. Maybe with negotiation, maybe he could have got a little bit more, even better. But it was basically a 1-year, 3-fight, $6.75 million deal. 1 year, 3 fights, $6.75 million. That's on the initial offer from Eddie Hearn. All right. Fight 1, September 2018, $2 million purse. Fight 2, March 2019, $2.25 million purse. Fight 3, September 2019, $2.5 million purse. Did not say the opponents, but I bet you it would have been 3 winnable fights for Adrien Broner. As a signed Matchroom fighter, I think Eddie would have put him in position to win 3 fights, man. Not put him in these, pick 'em fights, fights where he could lose. I think he would have been looking out for Broner's best interest, as he usually does for his fighters. make him a hotter name, a hotter star in the sport. And then after that, he probably could have got another contract for for 2020. For maybe another 3 fights, man, for probably more money. Hell, maybe 8 to 10 million. Especially if he would have brought the numbers in on the zone and for Matchroom. So let's just say if he would have won these 3 fights, a $6.75 million deal. Let's say at a minimum he got $8 million in a second deal with Eddie. That would have been what $14.75 million in 2 years for Adrien Broner, man. For Adrien Broner, who, hell, in my opinion, is on the decline, man. Hell, I'm an Eddie guy, but I would ask Eddie, why is he making Adrien Broner such an offer, man? It's for the numbers, because he draws a crowd and attention and ratings. He could get some subscribers for the zone. But, Adrien Broner's not on the incline, man. I think Adrien Broner would have put in 3 winnable fights. People to tune in to watch the Adrien Broner show. Him run his mouth and be flashy and controversial, man. And the guy could have made good money, man. And he's turned down for what? For what? I did a search before doing this video to see what he has made in his last 2 fights against Jesse Vargas and Mikey Garcia. He got $1 million purse, man. That was reported by Dan Raphael. He got paid $1 million to fight Mike Garcia and $1 million for Jesse Vargas. Hell, he should have got paid more to fight Mike Garcia. You don't get the same to fight a Jesse Vargas that you got to fight Mike Garcia, a Hall of Famer, a top 5, top 10 pound for pound fighter. Shit, that's man. Look, he should have signed that deal with Eddie quick, man. What is Heyman saying, doing to these guys, man? She should have made Bull fight Mike Garcia, man. Bad, man, absolutely bad. But Eddie's the bad guy. Eddie's, in Adrien Broner's words, offering him a slave deal. Slave deal now. 6.75 for 1 year for 3 fights. A guy who is 4-2-1 in his last 7 fights, according to his box record. Hell, in my opinion, he should be probably 3-3-1 in his last 7 fights, because I thought he lost to Adrien Granados. I thought he lost that fight. So, Adrien Broner, man, I don't get it, man. I do not get it. Hell, I think he got a gift against Adrien Granados. I think he got a gift against Paulie Malignaggi. Which I did not see this fight, but I think a lot of people say he got a gift against Daniel Ponce de Leon. They say that was a gift for Adrien Broner. And I have not seen the Jesse Vargas fight yet, which that was a draw. But I bet Vargas won that fight. I was going with Vargas to win that fight. Dwyer said Vargas won that fight. I need to watch that fight and see for myself and come do a post fight. I have it recorded. I just hadn't watched it yet, man. But, this guy cannot win a big fight. Cannot, what was the last big victory in his career? Big victory. Hell, Paulie Malignaggi in 2013, he lost to Maidana. His next big fight was Sean Porter. He lost that fight. And Mike Garcia, he lost that fight. So that in his last 3 big fights, he has lost. And then Jesse Vargas, there was a draw. So 0-3-1 officially in his last 4 big fights. And this got turned down a $6.75 million deal. We Eddie's calling that a slave deal. He should have signed that shit and took it with smiles, man. Like I said, if he won those 3 fights, I bet he would have been a favorite in all 3 of those fights. Not sure who the opponents would have been, but I bet it would have been winnable fights for the guy, man. And after winning those fights, I bet he probably could have signed an even bigger deal with Eddie, man. For even more money. Stepping over dollars to collect dimes, man. So in his next fight, whoever he fights, I'm assuming he gonna make $1 million again. He fought Jesse Vargas in April. he fought Mike Garcia in July of 2017. I'm assuming he won't have another fight before July 29th in 2018. So if that's gonna be his year of fights, Jesse Vargas and Mike Garcia, you know, that's $2 million as opposed to 6.75 he could have made with Eddie. You know, do the math. Do the math. All right. He got that offer from Rock Nation at the beginning of 2015. You know, a 5-year deal, which he would still be on, by the way, for $40 million. Basically $4 million a fight. You know, let's see, yeah, 5 million. Let's see, I'm trying to pull it up here. Yeah, $40 million for 5 years. $40 million for 5 years. And you know, of course, he you know, said all kinds of bad things about Jay-Z, man. Which a guy who I'm not necessarily, you know, a fan of, but that's basically that would have been $8 million a year, assuming 2 fights a year. That's $4 million a piece, man. You know, $4 million is better than $1 million that he's making now. You know, terrible. And as I said, he lost in those ever since 2015. He has lost to Sean Porter and Mike Garcia officially, and maybe Vargas too. And I thought he lost to Granado. So, you know, he's taking $1 million paydays with Haven. You know, why are these guys collecting pennies with Heyman but won't collect real dollars with Eddie? You know, is it because of race? Is it because Heyman is black and Eddie's white? Is this a Don King, Mike Tyson situation? But these guys are being sold on skin color, black power, and all that. You know, being loyal to the brother and not selling out to the white man is, you know, is that what it is? I don't mind saying it. You know, shit, Eddie willing to pay these guys more money, man, than Heyman, man. You know, but they'll stay loyal to Heyman. You know, I don't get it, man. You know, I don't get it. Shit. You know, how much? You know, how much is Heyman pocketing? You know, being the advisor to these guys, but these guys only making, you know, $1 million and shit. You know, Broner making $1 million, Spence making 1.2, Deontay Wilder making 2.1 in these dangerous ass fights, man. Fighting, you know, Luis Ortiz and Mike Garcia, man. You know, here Eddie gonna pay Adrien Broner at least double. And gonna pay Wilder what? Hell, at first it's gonna be doubling what he made fighting Ortiz. Then I think the offer went up to $5 million to fight Dillian White, and $12 million was 6 times what he made fighting Ortiz, man. And these guys run Eddie into the ground, man, blasting Eddie and shit. You know, Eddie already made clear, you know, he don't appreciate guys putting private emails and shit out there like Shirley Winkle did. Or should I say Shirley Winkle? You know, Eddie said that was a bitch move. I agree, and this what Adrien Broner did. This was a bitch move, man. This was a nice offer, man, for a guy who was on a decline, in my opinion, man. You know, a guy who was on a decline. When Adrien Broner fought Marcos Maidana, he was like a minus 525 favorite in that fight. You know, when he was a hot name, he was undefeated guy, he was like a minus 525 favorite against big ass hard hitting Marcos Maidana, and we know what happened in that fight. You know, if the undefeated on a roll Adrien Broner, who fought Marcos Maidana, would have fought Jesse Vargas, he would have been about the same size favorite, man. He would have been a big favorite over Jesse Vargas. You know, he was a slight favorite going into that fight when the odds were first posted. Then eventually it was more of pick 'em odds. I think Vargas might have became a favorite at some point. So, you know, I just want to come on and comment, man. This is silliness, man. You know, these PBC guys, man, you know, where are their brains? Where are their managers? True people looking out for them, man. they turn down bigger deals to stay with Heyman, stay loyal to Heyman, and collect smaller money, man. I don't get it, man. I do not get it. I do not get it, man. You know, this was, he burned the bridge, man. Eddie's the $1 billion man. This was a $6.75 million deal. As I said, man, I think he would have been put in a good position to win these 3 fights, and then after that, I'm assuming the ratings and the subscribers would have been high on his own. I'm pretty sure Broner would have had a great contribution. He could have got a better deal with Eddie, man. He could have got a second deal for even more money, man. You know, a guy on the decline, a guy who's losing fights, a guy who can only put people in seats because of his reputation in his mouth these days, not because he's winning fights. You know, he did not get a win with Jesse Vargas. He lost to Mike Garcia. Hell, I thought he lost to Granados. He definitely lost to Sean Porter. You know, lost to Marcos Maidana. Hell, he got a gift against Paulie. I thought he lost that fight. This guy, man, turning down bigger deals to collect smaller money, man. You know. By the way, I did the math. Let me pull up my calculator. It says $6.75 million a year with Eddie. 3 fights, $6.75 million for 1 year. Multiply that times 5, like he would have got a 5-year deal with Rock Nation, which of course I don't think he would have got this. Well, hell, maybe he could have, because he would be. I think he's 28 now. Maybe he would have been 33 if he could last another 5 years, and assuming he would win fights. But if at 6.75 a year times 5 years, 33.75 million, guys. He turned down 40 with Rock Nation. At this rate, 33.75 million, and the yearly could have gone up if he would have been producing for Eddie. So, this is ignorant, man. This is ignorant as hell, man. Turned down good money with the best promoter in the game. Hell, he could have fought in UK made money. Could have been headlining Matchroom USA shows making money. So, that's it, guys. Talked about this longer than I thought I would, but let me know what you think, man. Adrien Broner made a terrible mistake, man. Thanks for watching.